Hi there and welcome to episode 17 of our Rome 2 Total War Let's Play series. In the previous episode, we defeated the Veneti barbarian horde that was encroaching on our lands over here, and we sent out this army to attack them, and we killed them all, and we then retreated back to Roma. Because the reason we didn't go straight for Batavium is because, well, look at the strength of this army. We've nearly lost a unit of Veleters. They've got 12 people left in that unit there. Out of 120, and our Hastati are suffering quite a little bit. So in this episode we're hoping to attack Batavium, but I'm a little bit cautious because we don't quite know what's going on in this fog. They may have hundreds and thousands of units, we just don't know. So I'm thinking we're going to give it a couple of turns, let these units all regenerate, maybe train up another couple of units of legionnaires, and then once we've got a fair fighting force, we can actually move out onto Batavium. We're also getting a little bit of annoyance from this Veneti warlord as well, who keeps setting fire to things in Roma. So Roma need... yeah, we've got all sorts of damaged buildings right now, but we can't actually repair them at the moment because we've got no cash. So what's going on in the rest of our provinces? Nothing much in Valathria and Roma, but in Neapolis we're besieged by the Carthaginians at the sea. So not a lot we can do about them. We could sail out to meet them, but we don't have a whole lot of fleet here. They've got more of a fleet than we have, so that's a little bit. We'll leave that for now, I think, because, well, we don't need the port anyway because we don't trade with anyone. Over in Brundisium, everything seems to be on fire, but we are repairing a couple of our buildings at the moment, which is good, and it's mainly just these agents that are giving us grief. Over in Cassentia, not a lot going on, and then, whoops, over in Alalia, that apparently happens when I press the shift key. Over in Alalia, we are besieged by the Carthaginians at sea as well. So they actually have a fair amount of fleets here. But we have a huge army in Alalia. And we are actually gaining quite a lot of public order here. So we're minus 63 at the moment, but plus 12 per turn. Our military presence gives us plus 13 for that. So in a couple of turns, we would actually be able to remove our armies altogether from Alalia, if we so desired. And Corrales is actually unguarded at the moment, and they're losing public order per turn. They're losing 9 public order per turn, which isn't very good for them. So hopefully we'll be able to do something with this in the coming turns as well. We may be able to raise a new army in Alalia and then march our other army down towards Corrales, but not sure. We'll see. We'll have to see what happens. But first of all, let's end the turn and get things going. Okay, so we've had an invasion force landing by the Carthaginians. Research complete. We got some subversion in Ariminum, some sabotage of Cassentia, and we've been blessed by the gods, apparently. The boy showed great promise. His skill at arms was unmatched, and he even trained the boar to attack his enemies. I think this may have been something to do with the previous episode. I can't recall that far back, though, unfortunately. So, where was that army that landed? It was down here near Neapolis. The Carthaginians landed a very small army that comprises of an elephant, some hoplites, some javelin men, and some unknown. Probably javelin men knowing them, or hoplites. So that worries me a little bit. In case they're going for Neapolis, I think what we should do is let's move our Cassentia army towards Neapolis here. Just so that we've got some backup in case they attack. I think that the red band there is this army, so we can't go into that. But if they were to attack Neapolis, then we'd have these guys as reinforcements. So I think that's safe now. Safe from any attack, safe from any assault. And in terms of the north, the Veneti have left altogether. They had that small army there, but this Nori, there's a new enemy war maiden from the Nori who's started showing her face. So I've not actually encountered the Nori before. They have this Metalan and Genua over here, so and it worries me that they came from the Batavium side of things. That makes me think that these guys are in an alliance. I could possibly check that if I go to the Diplomacy tab and hit Veneti there. Now, will this tell us what their allies are? So they don't actually have any defensive or military allies. But I am cautious of the Nori here. I mean, they're both at war, and the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Could we potentially offer some sort of treaty with them?
I warn you,
Could we offer a peace treaty?
Nice.
No, we couldn't offer a peace treaty with them.
To our taste. The sword is different.
Okay, well, you can shut up. Is there any way we can? Is there anyone we could actually talk to? Is there anyone that doesn't hate us?
I give you greeting.
Could we offer a trade agreement to anyone?
Next few minutes. Make your case.
We could even say there's actually no. The likelihood of success for all of these is low, so there's not a lot of point in engaging with most of these people. So how is this army doing? We're still missing a fair few velites from that unit there, so let's recruit some more units. I like the idea of more legionnaires, perhaps even some veteran legionnaires. If we can only train one unit at a time, although 388, we're not even going to be able to train one unit at a time, we're only going to be able to train one unit every 2 turns.
Ready to serve Rome?
Now, how much would that give us? 388, that gives us about 495, and that's still less than a set of legionnaires. So I think that we may as well go for some veteran legionnaires here. And then the next, we wait a couple of more turns and get some more veteran legionnaires. That would be that'd be quite tasty if we can get another couple of veteran legionnaires up. Okay, so that's those guys. Over here, over in Eulalia, the Carthaginians actually called off the majority of their ships, which is kind of upsetting. I was hoping that they'd attack us and make some sort of stupid blunder, but because they called off most of their ships, they actually sent an army to go and sit in Corrales over here. So they are losing, instead of -9 per turn, they're actually only losing -6. I say only, but they're already at -73. If they're not careful, they're going to have a rebellion on their hands. Well, it'd be useful for us if we could have some sort of agent here open the gates for an army, but I don't think that we're going to have the funds to do that. All the agents cost 1,000 or so denarii each. So let's end the turn here and see what the next turn has in store for us. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not researching any technologies, so let's just sort that out. I think we need to focus on some more money-giving technologies. So we could have concrete, but that doesn't give us any money. And let's see if there's any tier 1 technologies. We could do this, which is common weights and measures. And that will give us plus 2% wealth from all commerce in all regions. So let's go for that one. And that should be about it. Okay, so what has happened now? Asteropius in Brundisium tried to assault our garrison, but he was caught and wounded trying to escape, which is good. There's some subversion in Ariminum. There's been a raid. There's been some sabotage in Brundisium. Our wells have been poisoned. And we've got potential adoption. Another family seeks to adopt one of your characters. Allow the adopter or stop the adoption. We can't really afford to stop the adoption, so we'll allow that. And also that would cost us one of our senators as support, and we kind of need to maintain our support, so let's allow that. Political intrigue. A new political intrigue has developed. Intrigue, offer of adoption, instigating party, other houses, target, Quintus Communis Merula. Target party, House of Junior. Consequence, he has accepted the offer and has pledged allegiance to his new party. Now he serves their interests. Okay, so what does that actually mean for us? Does that mean we've lost one of our fleets? We still have that fleet there. And we have the option of retraining our admiral, apparently. And we still have this fleet over here. And we have the option of retraining that admiral too. So, no real consequences, I don't believe. Ooh, we could actually retrain our principes. And that would upgrade them to legionnaires. and our Hastati to legionnaires as well. And that would only cost 150. Could we do this with this army over here? Now, it looks like we can, so what is the difference between legionnaires and Hastati? Legionnaires seem to be better all around apart from the melee defense, if I'm comparing these two, which they're -4 on. So it would make a huge amount of sense for us to actually upgrade all of our Hastati over time to legionnaires. And the veteran legionnaires have essentially better base morale, better melee attack, and a little bit more of a charge bonus and a little bit more defense. So let's let's retrain a couple of units of Hastati. In fact, should we go for all 3? Yes, let's go for all 3. And we can't upgrade any of our levies or velites, but or could we? Retraining is not possible for those guys. No, there's no further units available. Okay, so we now have a fair amount of legionnaires instead of Hastati, which is really good. So we are looking good to go for Batavium. We're going to, I think we'll wait until we can train up this last unit of veteran legionnaires before we move on though. So let's just double check over here in Aurelia. There's not a lot going on right here. And they do actually have some defense over at Corrales now. One thing I was thinking of doing though is raising some new forces, setting a couple of units aside for the new forces, and then moving this Legio III Primigenia down towards Corrales. Let's see if there's any new armies that we can raise for free. Yes, there are 2. And this guy has more zeal than cunning. That guy's a little bit imbalanced cunning wise, but we could raise a force here and we could set him with a bunch of veteran legionnaires. He is just a defensive force, so let's do that. If we trade some units, if we give them some velites, 2 units of velites maybe? No. We could do 2 units of velites and 2 units of Hastati. How do we do this? Do we just press the tick button? I believe so. And then we have smaller army here, but we could use this to go and start looking towards Corrales. They would outnumber us if we attack them head on, but we now have a garrison force here. In fact, we could actually send those 2 units out towards. Could we do that? I don't think we can actually.
We cannot do that.
Why are they stone? Why are they made of stone?
Commander.
Maybe because they can't move anymore. So I think we'll leave this turn here. The next turn we should be able to upgrade that last unit of Hastati, and then another turn after that to upgrade or to train the last unit of veteran legionnaires. So let's end the turn and see how we do. Okay, so we've got some subversion in Ariminum, some sabotage in Brundisium, some sabotage in Ariminum, some subversion in Brundisium, some more subversion in Ariminum, and we got war declared on us by the Aridii, which is not those guys, but these guys down here in Epidamnus. So they no longer like us apparently. Oh, they have a couple of places. So fair enough. I didn't think that they liked us anyway. But how are we doing in terms of this army? We don't actually have enough gold to upgrade our last unit of Hastati. That's because we raised an army over here, and the Carthaginians, since we left with our main army, have started to show a larger interest in that. Let us move slightly forward towards Corrales. I'm wondering if we should go in and actually attack it outright. They only have 4 units there, but I'm guessing they've got at least 10 units in inside the walls. So let's go ahead and lay siege to the city. we will continue the siege. We could build some ladders. Oh. I see what we're doing. Right, okay. So let's build another couple of ladders and a lag galley. But we're just going to continue siege. We're not going to attack them. Hopefully they'll charge out on us. And we can set up some sort of defensive position against them. So that's that. And I think we'll give it another turn so that we can upgrade our last unit of Hastati. And then start moving across to Batavium. So here we go. Right, Eulalia. Apparently they want to attack us. So what do we actually have? In Eulalia we have a fair garrison army actually. We've got 2 units of Velites, 2 units of Leves, 4 units of Plebs, 3 Rory and 2 Legionnaires. And our main army here, which consists of some veteran legionnaires, our general, 2 units of Hastati and 2 units of Velites. We've also got our garrison fleet, which just consists of 2 levies, 2 units of levies, which we will dock straight away. So let's go and, well, considering the battle deployment, I think we're going to absolutely stomp on these guys. I'm going to fight on the battlefield, but I may skip this battle and just come back to you in a second if it is a complete pub stomp. So I'll either see you in a minute or I'll see you in a second. Okay, that was most definitely a bit of a pub stomp. Let's see what they actually have left. Not a lot. Well, the Wayfarers seem to have survived quite well. Our Legio 7 Fretensis, we lost. Well, hardly any guys actually. Our garrison army, we lost a unit of plebs and some legionnaires. Well, nearly lost some legionnaires. And our garrison fleet, we didn't lose anything. So yeah, we did really well there. I probably won't put that footage in because it was a bit of a pub stomp. But as usual, let's kill the captives and continue on with the turn. Okay, so we're actually being attacked by the Ardier at Brundisium, of all places. So what do they actually have then? They've got a fair few javelin men here, and then they've also got more javelin men, and there's also an Athenian army backing them up with even more javelin men, and finally a Macedonian army with even more javelin men and some light peltasts. Now the battle deployment once again is massively in our favour. I'm actually going to try and auto-resolve this, see if it makes a difference if we auto-resolve over fighting on the battlefield with these fleet attacks, because that last attack was a little bit too much of a pub stomp for my liking. So let's see what happens. Our remaining force is only 57% or so, even if we go aggressive. So let's go for an aggressive stance and see if we can keep 57% of our force. So it's a close victory. And what did we lose? Oh, we lost 3 ships and nearly lost our 4th, our main ship. We hardly lost any of our garrison army and, well, nearly lost our garrison fleet. So I suppose the difference is I would have docked everyone up and we would have fought inside the base with a massive advantage. So we've actually lost a little bit more than we would have lost if I'd done that on the battle map, but I'm okay with that. Let's just kill the captives, and it looks like we've destroyed entirely the Athenian fleet, which is nice. And we've seriously hurt the Macedonian fleet, and both of the Aridae fleets, or Ardiae fleets, have suffered serious losses. So as usual, let's kill the captives and get on with the rest of the turn. And here is another attack, Valathri this time. We're being attacked by the Nori, apparently. And this is, yeah, this is a bit out of the blue. I mean, we have our garrison army against the enemy forces, so I'm going to actually sally forth. Click here to engage the enemy before they reach your settlement. I'm going to fight this on the battle map, but it's going to be another one of those which I'm going to skip. because it's just a standard everyday defense, I believe. If it's otherwise, then you'll see me in just a sec. Yes, we managed to kill them. Once again, it was a pub stomp, but strangely enough, we lost all of our melee units apart from our plebs. Plebs actually saved us in that fight, which was odd. I've never seen that. I've never seen a use for plebs, but we managed to... Essentially, they had one unit of slingers, and I used our plebs here to outflank them and take the slingers from behind. That worked extremely well, and we managed to kill those slingers off. And then when I look back on the rest of the battle that was going on, most of our Arari were dead. So the plebs came in from behind their melee units and took them on, dead on from behind. By this time, our levies were pretty much in melee range and melee combat with their short swords. And yeah, so it was a fairly odd battle, but it was a pub stomp and not very exciting to watch. So I'm going to skip that one as well. And as usual, kill the captives. So we've got some subversion in Rimmenham, as usual. They've tried to assault our garrison, and a faction joins our enemies, the Delmate. They've formed an alliance with our enemies. This threatens you and strengthens your enemy. An enemy has been wounded at Brundisium, trying to incite unrest, and we've research completed our common weights and measures. Fantastic, but we failed the mission. We were meant to research a technology in the following category: siege. And unfortunately, yes, we did fail that. So, oh well. Our mission is issued though, and we need to recruit an agent, a champion, and it will give us martial skill. But that costs quite a lot of money to recruit champions. So we'll have to see about that one. So in terms of Velathri, I mean, we defended this against a rather small Nori army. And they have this huge Nori army just on the outskirts. So it's odd that they sent such a small force to attack us when they've got this. I mean, this is... They must have at least 10 units of slingers here and 10 units of short swords or something like that. I don't have a clue. That is just very worrying for me at this time. And, I mean, we could try and cut them off with this army, but I'm not so sure that we'd actually be able to get there in time. What we can do, though, with this army is actually upgrade our last unit of Hastati to a unit of Legionnaires. Now, that should help a little bit. In terms of the rest of our armies, I mean, we defended Brundisium once again. But there is this... Yeah, I think we should probably disband this fleet here. Although it did as well, it did serve as well. It's just... It's not working out, I'm afraid. Let's disband them. And that'll give us an extra 150 or so denarii, gold, something like that, per turn as well. The only problem is we've got minus 32 in public order per turn at the moment. What's that made out of? It's mostly the characters. Minus 25 there for all of the inciting unrest that they keep doing. And the devastation's minus 5, the raiding's minus 10. So without those things, we'd be on, we'd probably be on about plus 8 because that makes up 40. So yeah, that's a bit of a... We really need to sort out these agents at some point. Neapolis is just sat there doing not a lot. There's a couple of units of horse there. Alalia, well defended, and again sat there doing not a lot now. Our units are... This army is fine, no issues there. Corrales is currently being besieged, and yeah, they have 4 units. One of which is a unit of elephants, which is a little bit worrying. Is there any way we could hire some mercenaries? No, they cost a little bit too much for us, unfortunately. But soon we should be able to take Corrales. I'm surprised they haven't marched out to attack us yet. It's a little bit odd that they haven't done that. Normally they do that immediately if they have the advantage. Something tells me that they think they don't have the advantage, which is a bit odd. So, in terms of this next turn, I'm reticent to go on Patavium with this army, just in case the mountain men from Nori assault Valathri here. And then we'll have to come back and defend Valathri. But I think since my timer here says it's been 50 minutes, I know that we're going to skip a couple of battles there, but we've had quite an eventful episode here, so I'm going to leave it there. So, as ever, I'll say thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye bye now.